Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Grab yourself a cup of tea and let's talk some boxing. Now, I'm wondering what is going on with Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk because there was a deal to be agreed between the two of them and there was actually a deadline before it would go to purse bids. Now, Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua did not want to go to purse bids for a number of reasons. Now, one is obviously going to be for a rematch clause, but that's not the only thing. The main thing is his broadcaster deal. Anthony Joshua can't really lose a purse bids. If he does, then he would likely have to relinquish because he would then be voiding his Sky contract. Because let's remember, AJ is not just signed to Matchroom, he is also signed with Sky Sports, at least for one more fight. So in turn, what that means, if there was another broadcaster who won the purse bid, to secure Anthony Joshua's next fight, he would then be in void of his Sky contract because he would not be facing Oleksandr Usyk on Sky Sports. So there would be a problem. Given that, he cannot lose a purse bid, and that is why he must not allow it to get to that point. So he tried to make a deal with Oleksandr Usyk in the meantime. Then there can be other things added to the contract that suit Anthony Joshua, and of course that suit Oleksandr Usyk, because it does go both ways. AJ is the champion though, so the salt and pepper is on the side of his table. Usyk can put things in here and there, especially if they ask for a rematch clause. Then Usyk has a little bit of room to ask for a few things that he wants, and then he'll give them that rematch clause, because as a mandatory, that is something that is not there. A mandatory does not mean there is a rematch clause in there because it is called by a governing body and not put together between two fighters. So in light of that, there has been a lengthy period between these two where we've gotten a date, September 25th, and the likelihood is the fight will take place at Tottenham Stadium, but things haven't really progressed all that much since then. Now, I guess it's better than the Tyson Fury situation between him and AJ, getting little updates here and there, and nothing really coming to fruition. After all of those updates and lengthy negotiations, nothing came of it. Maybe this is better, not hearing anything, then all of a sudden the fight is announced. This time though, we do know the fight is happening. That is one thing we do know. I mean, Anthony Joshua is not going to want to give up one of his world titles without fighting for it in the boxing ring. So I believe that this fight will definitely go ahead. One person did comment, is Anthony Joshua looking to run down the clock because Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder is only a few weeks away? So if AJ were to wait, could he then try and get another exception and try and make Tyson Fury still this year? That is something that I didn't really think about, but it is an interesting topic. First of all, I don't believe that that will happen, but it is interesting how Tyson Fury will be fighting very soon, and Anthony Joshua likely won't face Oleksandr Usyk until the 25th of September, and I do believe that that is the right move, because AJ does need time to prepare diligently for Oleksandr Usyk, a very different style compared to the one he would be facing if he went in with Tyson Fury. So he needs that time, and it was the loss to Andy Ruiz Jr. that taught him he needs those 12 weeks to prepare for opponents who are of the level like Oleksandr Usyk, like Andy Ruiz, someone who can come in and upset the apple cart because they are that good, and if you underestimate them and underprepare, you are only giving them more of a chance. That being said, the trilogy between Wilder and Fury is rapidly approaching, but Tyson Fury has had time to prepare for Deontay Wilder. He would have been likely looking at Wilder as well, not just fully preparing for AJ, plus he's been in the ring with him twice before, so that does give him an added advantage. AJ has never seen Usyk in the ring before, so he does need to make adjustments to his training and tailor it specifically for a tricky southpaw and someone who's small and fast and can move like Oleksandr Usyk. So it is two different situations. Wilder has that big right hand, but Tyson Fury knows if he takes that away, then he is able to get the victory. He is able to exploit the weaknesses that are obviously there with Deontay Wilder. Oleksandr Usyk is a little bit different. He has different things he can do in the boxing ring. He doesn't have all that much power, but he can adjust, he can go on the back foot, he can come forwards, he can fight on the inside. He's just an all-out incredible boxer and athlete as well. So that is something new for AJ to face in the ring. He did say he's facing Oleksandr Usyk, something he's seen before, but I believe what he meant by that is he's seen different styles before and always has been able to prepare, and he hasn't looked out of place. When have we ever seen Anthony Joshua get outboxed? We haven't really seen that. So, like I said, I don't believe that those comments were made to underestimate Oleksandr Usyk. I believe that he made those comments because he was literally saying there are different styles in the heavyweight division, and he has learned to be able to prepare for each and every one of them. And each time he's done it, he has gotten the victory, aside from Andy Ruiz, of course, but he did rematch him, and then he got the victory, put together a game plan that would work. That is the important thing. Now, going back to Fury Wilder and AJ as well, is AJ running down the clock and waiting for that? I don't believe he can. I don't believe that there is any time to do that. They are definitely working towards Usyk versus Joshua. They're not going to have the time to wait 3 or 4 weeks, and then there are no guarantees that Fury Joshua even happens. I mean, they've been there before. I don't believe they would be willing to gamble like that for Anthony Joshua, because if you look at it like this, it is a gamble for AJ to wait and hope for Tyson Fury maybe in December, November, after he deals with Deontay Wilder, and try and make Usyk wait again or just relinquish the world title. It's too much of a risk when you think about that would be another year of inactivity for Anthony Joshua. I mean, he's only fought twice in 2 years, so that is a lot of inactivity. Does he want to risk even more of that by waiting on Tyson Fury again, given what happened previously in negotiations? He is not going to do that. So it will definitely be Usyk Joshua next, because otherwise AJ is definitely going to have to give up a world title, and I don't see him doing that without fighting for it in the boxing ring. But not just that, I don't see him waiting on Tyson Fury really ever again. If the fight is to be made this time, then it needs to be an effort made by both camps, because Anthony Joshua is now waiting until September 25th for his next fight. He could have been fighting in probably April or May, and then fighting again around September time. Now he will only have one fight this year, and that is down to the negotiations between him and Fury. There is a lot of inactivity there caused by that situation. He's not going to wait on someone who hasn't come through last time and risk that kind of inactivity, because there are many fights that Anthony Joshua still wants to take in the heavyweight division. Dillian Whyte would be one of them, but he could be fighting, say, Oleksandr Usyk in May. Then he could have been fighting someone maybe like Dillian Whyte in September, 2 fights in 2021, getting back on track after ending that run of inactivity when he fought Pulev in December, because he was out of the ring for a year then. And it seems like it will get close to that this time again, fighting in September. So he's not likely going to fight twice this year, which he normally does. And fighting twice a year isn't really a lot. Now he seems to be fighting once a year through no fault of his own. So in 2022, I would imagine he's going to look to try and be more active, maybe have 2 or 3 fights next year, because there are many fights that he can still put together, whether one with Tyson Fury or the winner of the trilogy, Tyson Fury. Whether he is the guy is still up in the air. We don't know anything about Undisputed, and given what happened last time, we're going to be skeptical as to whether that fight will actually happen. Oleksandr Usyk versus Anthony Joshua though, what is going on? What is happening? Why is this fight not being announced? I would imagine that it will be announced. I think that they're probably putting things together because Tottenham will be away on September 25th, and I believe it is the derby between Arsenal and Tottenham. So that is an interesting time to put the fight on. Obviously the football then going straight into the boxing. So to put something like that together, I would imagine requires some planning, and that is what they are working towards. It is a football pitch, so there would be some maintenance to the pitch as well in between games. So that will have to be sorted, and just logistically, they have to sort certain things out. In fact, I'm kind of glad we're not hearing too much about it, and we will just get an announcement, because getting little updates all the time, like we did with Tyson Fury, it makes you wonder, hang on, is something off here? Why are we just getting so many updates and not the official announcement? This time around, it seems like we're not getting the updates, but eventually we'll just get the official announcement letting us know the fight is on. Then we won't be like disillusioned with the fight before it is even announced. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? This fight is going to happen likely September 25th at Tottenham Stadium when Tottenham are away at Arsenal. So you got the football, then going straight into the boxing. And I would imagine they're going to put together a stacked undercard as well for a great night of boxing. But the fight is going to happen. I don't see Anthony Joshua waiting for Tyson Fury, and I don't see him fighting anyone else, thus relinquishing that world title. He ain't losing a world title unless he loses it in the boxing ring. And those belts will be on the line on September 25th against Usyk. Anyway guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, also leave a like and grab that subscribe button. Thanks guys.